Hello, listeners, and welcome to the third episode in a series of podcasts on the topic Equity, Diversity, and Technology, a Caribbean Educator's Perspective. Remember, if you are in training to become an educator, if you are already an educator, or even if you just have an interest in education, this podcast is for you. Over the next few episodes, we will continue to explore how technology can be used in the classroom to address issues of equity and diversity. Now, just to recap, in our last episode, we continued to explore how tool based technologies, which are those technologies not developed specifically for educational use, can help to address issues of equity and diversity in the classroom. More specifically, we explored how the online translator, as well as Caption Assist, can be applied as a means of ensuring that any language barriers associated with the learning process are removed. In this episode, we will turn our attention to exploring program based technologies and their role in addressing diversity and equity in the classroom. Just a quick reminder that program based technologies are those that have been developed specifically for educational purposes. Today, we will explore personalized learning programs and Class Dojo. I hope you enjoy. First, let us explore personalized learning programs. Gao et al. 2019 explained that these programs have been specifically crafted for instructional purposes and preloaded with content. The content is delivered via algorithm enabled instruction using strategies such as gamification and online customized instructional programs that utilize artificial intelligence to allow each student to access a personalized academic experience. Now, you may ask yourselves, but what is the connection between these personalized learning programs and the matter of equity and diversity in the Caribbean? Well, according to a report produced by UNESCO 2021, the COVID 19 pandemic has caused a widening of the pre existing educational divides. The report states that many students are ostracized where education in the Caribbean is concerned, and that many Caribbean countries have not yet incorporated the broad concept of educational inclusivity at the policy level. It is also stated in this report that education systems should adapt to learners rather than the other way around. However, the disadvantage mentioned is that for the most part, teachers have generally not been trained to handle this task. This is where personalized learning programs can be applied to assist the teacher. We know that with traditional learning, all students receive the same information from the same teacher in the same way. However, personalized learning programs allow students to interact with content that has been specifically designed for them. So, little Sarah may have challenges with fractions, and the program, based on her performance, will assign more fractions related content to her. And as she develops more proficiency, the content will automatically become more challenging. Gao et al. 2019 explained that personalized learning programs are provided to individual students based on an analysis of how they learn using an artificial intelligence algorithm. This means that the teacher is now able to supplement a deficiency in training and can allow all students to have access to material that suits them and their learning styles, learning abilities, and disabilities. Please note, though, that I believe this is a temporary solution as the retraining and retooling of teachers as it relates to equity and diversity is of utmost importance as it is ultimately the teacher who needs to have the skills to actually apply the technology to address matters of equity and diversity. The downside of these programs is that since the content is pre made, The teacher has no input into how the information is configured for the student. The student also has little autonomy over his or her learning process. Next up, let's explore the tool Class Dojo. According to ClassDojo.com, this platform connects teachers with students and parents to build amazing classroom communities. It is also stated on this website that the platform allows students to have a voice because they can demonstrate what they have learned and are learning through adding photos and videos to their portfolios. This means that for those students who are uncomfortable participating orally or who may experience anxiety in the classroom setting, this is a viable alternative for allowing them to exhibit concepts learned. Since parents are also connected, they benefit from seeing what their children are learning in the classroom. But how does this address the issue of diversity? Well, AFOLABI 2014 states that parental involvement is one of the main strategies that helps to propel the inclusive learning environment. They go on to state that a positive experience with inclusive education is dependent on a strong collaborative relationship between the home and the school, where parents are seen as collaborators and partners in their children's education. While one downside to this platform is that it could be viewed as something else added to an already lengthy to do list for the teacher, the evidence suggests that parental involvement in inclusive education is priceless. Class Dojo gives parents a direct look into their children's learning space and provides a direct link to the teacher as well. Dear listeners, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Equity, Diversity, and Technology, a Caribbean Educator's Perspective. As usual, I will leave you with some food for thought. And today's quote is from Andres Tapia. He says, "Diversity is the mix. Inclusion is making the mix work. What can you do to make the mix work?" Tune in for our next episode as we continue to discuss equity, diversity, and technology. See you next time.